I've been hearing a lot about a project called Hivemapper lately, which is a decentralized map making software. Is it worth buying? Let's find out. Welcome to Crypto Simulation Theory. I'm the Gaussian Snake. Nothing here is considered financial advice. Please be sure to join my free Telegram group, the Snake Pit, for daily chart analyses, market updates, and information about new crypto projects. Link is in the description below. So first impressions are they show a map where roads have been mapped, and the thing about Hivemapper that makes it different than something like Apple Maps or Google Maps is that anybody can contribute map data to their database, and they use some different methods. The most common is a dash cam that's installed inside the vehicle, and there's other ways to do it with your phone as well. And you can see kind of the stats on how many people have actually mapped using Hivemapper. The United States and Europe have a lot of coverage. Other countries not so much. This has been around since 2022 as a product, but the token hasn't been around that long comparatively. So I, of course, want to explore both, probably focus a little bit more on the token just because that is what you would be invested in, and see how much of a connect there is between the token and the actual project. So this is the white paper for Hivemapper, and they have a really detailed overview. I'm not going to go through all of this, but the gist of it is the honey token that is associated with the Hivemapper project is sort of like a governance token and also a rewards token. It allows you to not only use the Hivemapper network, use tokens to pay for usage of the network, but also to for governance as well. So you can see it's in here somewhere, map improvement protocols or proposals. These are used to introduce and approve any or deny major changes, and this will be based on the token economics of honey. So like I said, I'm not going to go through all this here. These details are kind of irrelevant to the token, but I did want to look at the tokenomics of honey. And before I do that, let's just go to CoinMarketCap and take a look kind of at some basics. We can't always trust the data on CoinMarketCap. We've seen that it hasn't always been accurate. Seems like it is fairly accurate with this project. So right away, I noticed there's a big disconnect between the fully diluted market cap and the total market cap. Fully diluted is around $368 million. Total market cap is only $105 million. Also, I noticed the last 24-hour volume was only $500,000, which is 0.47% volume to market cap ratio. It's a little bit of a red flag to me, having such low activity on this network. Circulating supply, once again, is just a representation of the market cap to fully diluted value. There's definitely going to be a substantial amount of inflation with this token. It has a smart contract with Solana, and it is available on Coinbase. So the honey token is used as governance for the Hivemapper network, and you can see your honey tokens are used to create economic incentives across the Hivemapper network while balancing the needs of two groups within our ecosystem. So contributors who help build the map will receive honey as a reward for mapping with their dash cam or phone, or training the map AI by labeling and editing data. So this is a pretty useful feature for the app, and I feel like having that incentive is really good. Enterprises and developers who consume map data to support their products and services, and this causes honey to be burned whenever they consume data from the Hivemapper network. The first honey token was minted on November 1st, 2022 on the Solana blockchain. However, it has not been available on Coinbase for as long. It just debuted on Coinbase fairly recently. I don't have transaction history available going back to 2022 on TradingView, and I tried to look on Dex Tools and Dex Screener, couldn't really find anything that reliable on there. So if you find a chart that is fairly reliable that's not on Coinbase, please drop it in the comments. Anyways, the tokenomics are not great. So as you can see here, there's a maximum supply of 10 billion honey tokens. We just saw that not all of those have even been released yet. And if we go back to CoinMarketCap, you can see that the total supply is at 6.3 billion, but it's saying here that there's going to be 10 billion. 40% to contributors as rewards for their participation in building the Hivemapper network. Now that's all well and good. 20% to investors for providing the startup capital required to launch the Hivemapper network. I know that it is necessary to reward your early investors, but 20% is a lot. And then 20% to Hivemapper employees, 15% to Hivemapper Inc. So we're talking 55% to Hivemapper, and then just add another 5% to the foundation. This is shady. This is very shady. 60% of the Hivemapper token, Honey, is going to be kind of locked within the company and private investors, and then 40% to contributors. Yeah, I don't really like that at all. I think that's pretty lousy. Burn and Mint, an on-chain marketplace between the Hivemapper network, contributors and customers created through a Burn and Mint structure. Systems based on a net emissions model, which means that whenever NAP consumers burn tokens to access services on the network, share of tokens is reissued to contributors as MAP consumption rewards. Again, this seems kind of gimmicky to me, considering how awful their tokenomics are, and the ways that you earn them, and things are just kind of complicated. Like if you read through the documentation, we have Apple Maps, we have Google Maps. Like they may not map everything, but they're fairly reliable and free to use. So why would somebody pay to use map services unless they live in like some rural part of the country or something like that? And I understand that Apple Maps doesn't like update as like frequently as maybe we would like it to, but it is updated. So I have not really run into too many situations where I couldn't find directions on Apple Maps, Waze, or Google Maps. And with like Waze, there's an incentive program in there to kind of capture accurate map data. So they've got a lot of competition, and I really don't understand what exactly it is that they bring that justifies this sort of pay model. It seems kind of scammy to me personally, but not an obvious one, right? Just one that just benefits Hivemapper a lot more than it benefits the consumer. Like the consumers have to purchase map credits. Like this seems really, really complicated, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Token restrictions. So yeah, as is normally the case, investors can't sell all their tokens right away. So it says here tokens allocated investors are restricted for a 2-year period, a 2-year vesting period, and then you can expect them to dump on retail, as they always do with these kind of things. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother looking at this earning honey stuff. I mean, it's just so complicated. Who's gonna really do this? Except people who are already very technically minded, or people who feel like they can game the system or something. I just don't really see the appeal. But I don't have to invest in something that I necessarily believe in. I like to invest based on the chart and the tokenomics. So tokenomics look awful, terrible, amongst the worst I've seen. So that's an X for me. Let's look at the chart. Oh, straight down. Man, this is just so typical. Whenever you have one of these tokens, wherever there's airdrops or huge investor allocations, it's just straight down, and then people are like, "Oh, let's buy right here." And then you've got to look forward to inflation down the road as well. Now, it is possible that we find some support on the median line of the Gaussian channel. This is a weekly view. The dark green are actually red candles. You can see that if I turn off the Gaussian channel. So maybe we would see a bounce kind of around that level. I really don't know, but I'm personally not one who buys these kinds of charts. When I see something just completely dump out like this, it's a red flag to me, and I'll tend to stay away from that project. That's just kind of what, my investing preference is for something that does not behave like that. Now, there is an exception, Pendle. So if we kind of look at the history of Pendle, and I'm going to have to pull up a lot of history, you can see that it also just kind of dumped out, but then actually came back, retraced the entirety of this move, and it's actually up. And Pendle has nothing to do with Hivemapper. It's just a very similar kind of looking chart, at least in the beginning. Pendle put in a nice 203x. So I would be careful about, just writing this project off like I'm doing. I'm not going to invest, but look at that steep decline. I mean, that is rough. So how far have we dropped from this liquidation wick here? We're talking like a 95% drop and not much strength showing. you're going to have some pretty pissed off people who got screwed along the way, who bought, that are going to act as resistance. Frankly, I think you could do better. I'm not even going to bother looking at anything else with this token. I'm going to say that absolutely not. I wouldn't get within 5 feet of this. I probably wouldn't use their product either. I don't know what all the hype's about. It doesn't seem that cool to me. So if you're interested in this project, go for it. I think you're taking on way too much risk for the reward you could get with another token that's not bleeding to death. And I am aware that we are in altcoin weakness right now. I would anticipate that Hivemapper will turn around at some point. It certainly could do what Pendle did. That's the risk of not holding it, and it could head up like that. However, I don't know a lot about Pendle's tokenomics, but I just have to guess they're probably a little bit better than Hivemapper. Maybe I'll do a Pendle review at some point, but Pendle is an example of a chart that started out this way, where basically early investors or airdrop holders kind of dump all their coins. But I am concerned about Hivemapper's business model being sustainable. I think Apple Maps and Google Maps and Waze are substantial competition to this. I don't really feel like they bring something that revolutionary to map making that one of these big companies couldn't pick up themselves and offer for free. So I'm going to just have to go with a hard no on this. No, I would not buy it. You're free to do as you want. Nothing in this video is financial advice. As you probably could guess, I do not and will not own this token. So that is my 2 cents, and I hope that helped you make your mind up. They do have a Discord, but wasn't really that impressive, honestly. There's not a lot here. And they have a Twitter, kind of boring Twitter, honestly. I'm just not a fan. I'm really not. The idea sounds good in theory, but yeah. Thank you for joining me in Crypto Simulation Theory. I'm the Gaussian Snake. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell to be notified of future releases. And join my free Snake Pit Telegram, the Snake Pit. There's a link in the video description for daily market updates, chart analyses, community, and info on new projects. If you are interested in Hivemapper or the token Honey, I will leave some links in the video description so you can check it out yourself and form your own opinions. Again, you can buy it if you want to, but I think personally it's not a great idea. So that's why I'm not endorsing it and will not endorse it. Okay, well, that's about it. And I will see you again next time. Take care. Bye.